What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over Google Ads costs, billing, budgeting, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to decide whether or not you should try Google Ads for your business if you haven't already. So you can see we have some costs for our campaign over here. We have an average cost per click. We have a cost per conversion. So let's start by asking, how much does Google Ads cost? So the total spend that you have in your account, advertisers have a lot of control over their daily budget and monthly spending. I'll go over a little bit more about that in the next slide. But if we're looking at average cost per click here, pulling some data from wordstream.com, the average cost per click for search ads in 2022 is $2.69 across all industries. It's going to greatly vary depending on what keywords you're targeting, how much competition you have, and ultimately how much revenue you can drive from certain keywords. For display ads, the costs are much less per click than search ads, but it's also because you don't have the same level of targeting that you do with search ads, and you're trying to reach people with a lot of different goals in mind than just trying to drive conversions. One of the things you should keep in mind is when you set your daily budget. For this example, this is a picture from Google Ads. So if you set a $10 daily budget, you can see right here is a $10 daily budget. You're never going to spend more than 2x your daily budget. So you can see right here, your daily spending limit is going to be 2x whatever your daily budget is. Now, if you multiply your daily budget by 30.4, that's the average number of days in a month. If you multiply your budget by 30.4, that will help you estimate your monthly spend. So if you set your budget at $10 per day over the course of a month, you're probably going to spend right around $304, give or take, as long as you're spending your full budget. Now, there's going to be days where you spend $18. There's going to be days where you spend $6. So what Google Ads tries to do is use your budget to drive you the best possible results that they possibly can. So if they know that people are looking for the products or services you offer more on a Wednesday, then you're going to spend more on a Wednesday than you would on a Sunday. So just keep that in mind as you set your daily budget. And if you do change your daily budget a lot throughout the course of a month, you're going to end up spending more some days, less some days. So what you really want to do is focus on monthly campaigns and then try to come up with a monthly budget and then just divide that by 30.4 to set your daily budget. Now, next I want to go over a little more with average cost per click. So how much you're being charged for every single click to your website, every single click that leads to a product ad, every single click on a phone call ad. So all the different clicks that drive people to something for your business. So this is again from wordstream.com. This is the average cost per click across industries for search and display. You can see for display, it's much closer. A lot of these different average cost per clicks for some of these different industries for display, whereas there's some much greater disparity on the search network. So let's increase this picture and just look at the search network. You can see right here are consumer services. So it might be someone who's looking for a new roof, somebody who is looking for some type of home service or any type of service that is going to cost a lot of money in the long run. So since companies are able to charge much more for some of these different services, they're willing to bid much more on advertisements. Same thing with legal, which is generally always at the top. Now, if we come over here, you'll see, right, this is finance and insurance. This is technology. On the low end, you can see e-commerce, since people are trying to sell physical products. Some products might only cost $40, $50. It's hard to drive a huge return on investment when you're only selling these low price products. So you'll see this vary across different industries. And as you are bidding on different keywords, you're going to notice there are a lot of differences between keywords that tend to drive business and keywords that tend to drive more research and not as much revenue for a business. And if we come to the next screen as well, so this is one is from LocalIQcom, which also works with WordStream as well. So you can see they have some of these different industries here, animals and pets. Right here, attorneys and legal services, that is the highest one. Dentist and dental services, also very expensive. Home improvement, very expensive. So just keep in mind that when it comes to something that's going to be a little more competitive and you have more advertisers bidding on a certain keyword and more advertisers making more money from that keyword, they're going to be willing to increase their cost per click because they're trying to drive as many conversions as they can, because every conversion leads to a new customer and different companies have much higher customer lifetime values. So just keep that in mind as you are bidding on different keywords and trying to understand why you're being charged so much in certain industries. Now next, and the question that everyone has is, should I run Google Ads for my business? So there's a lot of different ways to decide whether or not you should run Google Ads for your business if we're looking at a sample finance and insurance campaign. So using the data from WordStream, The average cost per click for finance and insurance is $3.44. Obviously, finance and insurance are very, very broad industries. So we're just going to use this $3.44 as an example. Let's say we set a daily budget of $100. We multiply that by 30.4 to estimate our total monthly spend, $3,040. With a cost per click of $3.44, we can drive 883 clicks for $3,040 for our sample finance and insurance campaign. And to take it to the next step, what you want to do is look at your average conversion rate and your average customer lifetime value. So the more data you have, the easier it is to estimate a Google Ads campaign. And I'm going to show you something right after this to give you a little bit more insight as well. So if we just say our average conversion rate on our website is 3%, our average customer lifetime value is $300. So every single conversion we drive that leads to a new customer, that brings us $300 in revenue. If we spend $3,040 on Google Ads, we drive 883 clicks. With a 3% conversion rate, that means 26 total conversions, a conversion value of $7,800, which would give us a return on ad spend of 257%. So overall, this would be a solid campaign. Obviously, you want to get your return on ad spend as high as possible. But if you're looking at you're spending $3,000 and you're turning in almost $8,000, for the most part, that's a pretty good campaign, but it does depend on your business's margins. So another way to look at this is if we go into Google Ads and we come to tools and settings, and then we're looking at planning, we can open up the keyword planner, which is going to give us some ideas for how much the average cost per click is for whatever it is that we're selling. So let's just say I'm trying to get people to open up a new bank account. So I'm a bank. I want people to open up new checking accounts, saving accounts. So let's start with keywords and let's say open a bank account. Okay, so we enter these 4 different keywords: open a bank account, new bank account, open checking account, open savings account. Now you can adjust your language targeting here and your location targeting. Let's just assume I'm targeting the entirety of the United States. So we can click on get results. You can also enter your website here just to give more data to the keyword planner. But for right now, we're going to click on get results. And if we scroll down here, we could just look at the keywords we entered and looking at the top of page bid, the low range, and the top of page bid, the high range. So what this tells me is that for a keyword where I'm trying to get people to open new bank accounts, so open bank account online, online account opening, online saving account opening, let's assume we're targeting all of these different keywords. So we'll take a bunch of relevant keywords. We can select all of them. Now you can see right here, the estimates, they're pretty high. So you're probably going to end up spending anywhere from $10 to $15 per click, even if you keep your bids pretty low, or even if you're telling Google Ads, whatever you're setting up for them for your conversions and your target CPA or your target return on ad spend, you're trying to keep your bids as low as possible here. So what we're going to do is we'll choose a few more of these. Open checking account online instantly. Okay, so we have a few different keywords here. Now what we can do is we can add these 10 keywords to our plan. We're going to create a new ad group. So we'll just put this all in one ad group and we'll name it open bank account. Click on create to create that new ad group. And then let's just choose phrase match keywords because broad match keywords is going to match very, very broad keywords. So let's click on add keywords here. That's going to add it to our plan. So what we can do is we can click on forecast here. So if we scroll down, you can see some of these different keywords that we're targeting. It's going to give us forecasts for every single individual keyword, what's going to drive the most clicks. So if we have a bid strategy of maximize clicks here, let's just say our daily budget is $100. Let's use the same example we had. And then let's scroll down here and add our conversion metrics. So let's say our conversion rate is 3%. And let's say our value per conversion is $300. So we'll click on save. So using this data, it's saying that with a $100 daily budget, just targeting these 10 keywords, if we have a 3% conversion rate, we can drive 1.7 thousand clicks, have a conversion value of 15,000. So it kind of gives you an idea of how well your campaign could perform. Now, to me, this looks like a pretty good campaign and much better than my original forecast. And you can adjust this over here to say, okay, I want to drive at least 300 conversions. That means you're going to have an average daily budget of 2.7 thousand, and you're going to have to spend a total of 85,000. What you're going to see as you increase your spend is there's only so much volume for people who are searching for the keywords that you're targeting. So our conversion value actually ends up going down in terms of return on ad spend. So you want to make sure you kind of find that sweet spot, which is going to take some time. It takes time to test your Google Ads campaigns to figure out the best way to spend your money. So just some different ways to kind of forecast how much your costs are going to be and whether or not it's worth it to run a campaign. Now, I do believe for most businesses, it's worth testing, especially if you're selling physical products or you have services that you're trying to sell. It's always good to run a Google Ads campaign just to see how it performs and see which keywords do help drive conversions on your website. It could always help your SEO strategy if it doesn't end up working out with Google Ads. So next thing is, how does Google Ads charge me for campaigns? Now, the good news is you don't have to prepay anything in Google Ads. You're going to be charged as your advertisements run, as you drive clicks. The other thing is, if we come back to my campaign screen and we're looking at some of these different campaigns that I've ran way in the past, you could see this one, all of my ads are disapproved. Not a big deal. It's not a real campaign that I'm running. It's something that I just ran as an example. But if we come over here, you can see this search campaign right here had 38 impressions, but no clicks. So you're not charged anything. You're not going to generally be charged for impressions on the search network. For the most part, you're not going to be charged for them on the display network. There's some examples where you can use a target CPM bid strategy, but you're really not going to be charged for impressions. So over here, we have a different campaign where we're targeting keywords. So 153 clicks cost me $214. So my average cost per click was $1.40. So you're not going to be charged this cost immediately through Google Ads. The way it works is an automatic payment. So you choose your payment method. When you come back over to Google Ads, you go to Tools and Settings, and then under Billing, you can set up all of your billing in the settings over here. So you have all this information for billing as well. So you'll have all that information available. So if we come back over, you can use these different payment methods: bank account, which is also called direct debit, a credit card, a debit card, PayPal, and you can also do a backup credit card just to make sure there's never a pause in your Google Ads campaign. So when will you be charged for new campaigns? So for most new advertisers, you're going to be charged on automatic payments. You're charged after your ads run. Your payment method will be charged on the first of the month for whatever balance you have on the first of the month. And it'll also be charged when you reach your payment threshold. Your first threshold is at $50. So when you're running ads, as soon as you spend $50 in your Google Ads account, they're going to charge you $50. The next threshold goes up to $200. So you might see some payments of $50, $200, $350, and then you're going to get up to a threshold of $500. So what you can do is request to increase your threshold so that you're kind of deciding how much you're going to spend every single month, and then you don't have a ton of different $500 charges. You try to just increase your threshold to how much you're being charged every month. The other thing that you can do is use manual payments. So you can manually pay if you know, for example, you're running a $3,000 campaign, just manually pay $3,000. That balance will go into your Google Ads account. And then what Google Ads will do is, instead of you having a ton of different payments for Google Ads, you'll have that one $3,000 payment, and they'll run through all of your balance in your Google Ads account. Now, the one last thing is monthly invoicing. So if you are in business for over a year and you have a $5,000 monthly spend, you can request to use monthly invoicing, where Google Ads actually extends you a line of credit. They're not going to charge you any interest as long as you pay your bill on time, but they're extending you a line of credit, and at the end of the month, you're getting an invoice, and you're going to have to pay that invoice by a certain date. So there are different payment methods available, and it does vary by country as well. So make sure you're looking at all of the options in your country, because it's going to be different in the United States than it is in some of the other countries. So hopefully all of that makes sense, and it helps you kind of decide whether or not you want to run Google Ads for your business. I do think it's worth testing for most businesses, so give it a try. Make sure you're using conversion tracking so then you can actually track how many conversions you're driving on your website, and you can come down with a cost per conversion, a conversion rate, because that's ultimately the goal, is to get people on your website and to become a new customer or to purchase something from you. So that's what we're all looking to do with Google Ads. So make sure you're using conversion tracking. The most important thing is your return on ad spend, because you want to make sure that when you're running Google Ads, you're not losing money, you're creating new customers, and you have customers that can use your business, your services, your products for life. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.